Okay. Let's see, what in the world? Okay, so yeah, rest in peace to Takeoff. And by no means am I trying to be disrespectful towards Takeoff. I just noticed that, it's not everybody, I guess, on social media, it could sound so loud or whatever, but it seems like there's this niche group of people who are constantly attacking Meg Thee Stallion for whatever reason. I happen to believe that, it's because she's signed to Rock Nation, and a lot of people are, overly obsessed with Jay-Z and his businesses and whatever he's doing or whatever. And I just feel like she gets a lot of that as well, because I can't see, other than her just living her life and doing what she's doing, no different from any other young woman trying to find themselves. I don't understand what all the outrage is about, and I don't understand what all the disgusting comments are about. But rest in peace to Takeoff. I hope all the players that are involved in that case are severely punished. And that's genuinely, that was devastating to see this man lose his life like that. And it's just nothing you could really say that's gonna that's gonna mend anybody's pain. Um, from the situation, especially his mama. That woman, they need to tell the truth. But this is about Meg, right? So I was just saying that I noticed the outrage right away, you know, and then for Meg, it's like, I don't know, in and out. I don't understand it or whatever. But why I really wanted to do this video is because I wanted to talk about immunity. That's what this is about, and Kelsey Harris. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is share my screen. Yeah, share. And then what I'm going to take you to is this article first. We'll do a little bit of reading because reading is fundamental. I wish more of us would, get into that habit of reading things first and really researching things before we come out and say things. We will look a lot better, but it is what it is. I'm just going to read her portion. Is this it? Yes. Megan's former assistant and best friend Kelsey Harris took to the stand Wednesday and was granted immunity. However, Harris' testimony seemed to leave prosecutors frustrated as she answered almost every question with "I honestly don't remember." Lane's 30 is accused of shooting fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion following a party in Hollywood Hills. He pled not guilty to discharging a firearm with gross negligence, assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. Okay? This is what getting into Meg, and I think that was pretty much it. No, here it is. Harris made it clear Wednesday that her memory from that night was blurry because there was a lot of alcohol involved. In September, LA County Deputy District Attorney Kathy Tai recorded an interview with Harris recounting the night. Large portions of that recording were played in court Wednesday in an effort to refresh Harris's memory. In the recording, Harris described each part of the night in specific detail. But in court, Harris said many things she said then were not true, saying, "I was protecting myself." Prosecutors showed a text message Harris sent to Megan's security guard the night of the alleged shooting that read, "Help, Tory shot Meg, 911." However, Harris claims she does not know why she said that because she did not see anything happen. And we know that that's a bunch of malarkey, bunch of BS, because she's right there. There's no way You can give specific details, inch by inch, and then get to the court and say, oh, geez, I just really don't remember. I really don't remember this. And then after you've given these details. So she may have foiled her immunity. Now, what I want to do is go over the immunity, right? Because people are like, immunity? How the hell did she get immunity? What did she do? What did she get? Okay, first, let's go over the types of immunity. Okay, because there are two types and where it revolves around a criminal case. I'm sorry, I had a little bit of fireball in me, so I'm like, oh. But no, in regards to criminal cases, there are two types of immunity you can receive. So let's go. Anyone who is charged with a crime has a Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. That means they cannot be forced to reveal incriminating information about themselves, even if they are asked by law enforcement or in court. The privilege against self-incrimination covers not only responses that are directly incriminating, but also responses that could lead to the discovery of incriminating evidence. Sometimes the prosecutor may bargain with someone who is suspected of a crime, in which I believe happened while she was granted the immunity, right? If they are believed to have information about other criminal activity in exchange for testifying against someone else. The witness may receive immunity from prosecution. Immunity comes in different types and may have restrictions. So it is important to understand the specific deal that a prosecutor is offering before agreeing to it. And I think she does it, but we got I think 1 or 2 more days in court, so we'll see. So here are the different types of immunity you can receive when you're involved in a criminal case. You have transactional immunity, which is total immunity. No charges, you're free. And then you have use and derivative use immunity. Let's find out what those are for those of you who don't know, right? Also known as total immunity, transactional immunity provides a shield against any future charges based on any matter related to the testimony. The prosecution can still bring charges against the witness for matters that are unrelated to the testimony. The federal criminal justice system does not offer transactional immunity, but many states do. No, they don't. You have to give the Fed something. You have to snitch in order to get your sentence reduced. Or you have to rat somebody out in order to get your sentence reduced. The other main type of immunity is known as use and derivative use immunity. Derivative immunity. Well, let's not do this tonight. This comes with more restrictions and thus is more often offered by prosecutors. Use and derivative use immunity protects the witness from having a prosecution use their statements or any evidence discovered from their statements against them. Essentially, this produces the same result as if the witness invoked their Fifth Amendment privilege and did not testify at all. That's what she did. It allows the prosecution to bring charges based on the same crime against the witness, as long as the charges are based entirely on independent evidence from a different source. Whether that evidence is sufficient to convict the witness without using their statements can be left to a judge or jury to decide. And here, limits on immunity. Let me see. Okay, now we're not getting into it. You can come to Justia and you can do all the rest of that. But I just wanted to break down the two types. So based on her testimony, I think it's safe to assume that she was offered the use and derivative use, right? Because she didn't answer uh, questions as if she had total immunity. If she had total, when you have total immunity, you're free to get up there and say everything, they can, anything, based on the statements that you gave, right? Because they can't, it says the prosecutor can still bring charges against the witness for matters that are unrelated to the testimony. So in both cases, it seems the same, that they can bring you up on charges, but it won't be based on any testimony that you've given in court. But they may have other witnesses. There may be some of the case of what happened with Megan that they may leave out. We don't know for sure. I don't know for sure that she has use and derivative use immunity. I don't know. But I'm just saying, based on the way she testified, it seems as if she did. But if the prosecution is the one who offers you the immunity, and if they were frustrated and aggravated by it, then she may, like I said, she may have foiled that, and she could potentially face perjury charges if she messed that up. Because once they give you the deal, you get up there, you screw it up, the deal is off the table now. So, I don't know. But we know she has immunity, and of course she doesn't have total immunity. That's why she got up there and acted dumb. But it's important to know these things, so that way when these cases come across and you hear immunity, 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 you'll know sometimes, based on hearing the testimony, you could say to yourself, oh, they must have total immunity. Or, oh, they have use and derivative immunity. Now that you know that, because people are just saying immunity, immunity, immunity without expressing the types. I know I'm a paralegal, I would know that information. Lawyers, attorneys, other paralegals that are on here, they have access to that information. But maybe other people who are not in the field or not studying it won't have that information. So I wanted you to have that. So now that that's out the way, this chick right here, I believe, and this here comes the alleged part, because this is just my opinion. I believe there was some tussling going on. I believe Megan wanted to get up out of there, wanted to get out of the situation. And this girl was mad because maybe Meg did get the better of her. We don't know. But Meg didn't look like she was in a fight, but maybe she got the better of her. Maybe Tori got the better of both of them. We don't know what happened. But she's definitely protecting herself and Tori, because it's Tori's gun. And I believe she might have just took the gun, off Tori. We don't know where the gun was. They say it was under the seat. She might have just, if she knew it was there, maybe she just bent over and got out. He saw what she was going to do. And maybe they were tussling over it, or maybe she was holding it and wasn't holding it right. And he put his hand, on her hand to direct her, like how to shoot, while he's screaming dance bitch in the background. Because if he's screaming dance bitch in the background, he's not trying to stop the girl, Kelsey, from shooting her, if in fact Kelsey is the one who shot her. But because she has most of the gun residue on her, and Tori has less, I feel like he was next to her and, like, helping her aim. Like they did it together. Another thing I wanted to, and that's just my personal opinion, another thing I wanted to say, I don't think her and Tori were together the way a lot of YouTubers are saying. I read an article where it said that she had a crush on Tori, and that Tori knew that she had a crush on them, and maybe Meg knew that she had a crush on them, but they weren't involved in the way that people are saying. Now, I don't know about the other guys or what happened with that, or I could be wrong, and everybody could be right. But according to the article that I read from a reputable source, reporting source, it said that she had a crush on Tori. And he was telling Meg, like, you should just go ahead and tell your friend the truth. Like, if she was confused about something, go ahead, tell your friend the truth. Let her know. Like, we smashed, or we did something or whatever. And I was that, like, let her know, so she could stop, being in suspense. Or maybe he did or didn't want to deal with Kelsey. I don't know. That part I don't know. That's not even important to me, but I just wanted to challenge that a little bit because I heard people were putting them together like a couple and Meg came in between them. And that's not what happened or whatever. It's just according to my opinion. Okay. And everybody's entitled to have their own opinion or whatever. But also get a sip of this latte. Delicious. Also, Tori is not a good person. And I'm surprised to see the amount of support that he's getting from quote unquote black males, knowing that this guy has a history of putting his hands on people and that Meg is a woman. And I was looking for the video. They scrubbed this video off of the internet because I've been looking for like 3 days. As a matter of fact, yeah, as long as this trial started, I've been looking for that video. If there's a video when Meg is on stage performing and you see the baby and Tory Lanez trying to jump on the stage and attack Meg the Stallion. They didn't get up there or security came out or whatever, but that video should have been entered in as evidence as far as his character, like character evidence or whatever against Tory, because it just shows like, look, not only was he involved in an incident where this young woman was shot, from his gun, he's still trying to get at her. That's why she had to get the order of protection. This dude's trying to jump on the stage while she's performing. Him and the baby. And then not only that, other artists jumped in and started, it's no shame on some men just don't have no shame, no respect for themselves. So they're not gonna have respect for a sister at all. Her sexual interludes or whatever has nothing to do with the public. That has nothing to do with the public. A lot of people are hypocritical because a lot of people got OnlyFans pages and they on there busting it wide open, and that's girls and guys. Girls and the boys are both on OnlyFans busting it open. Even some of those celebrity dudes during COVID, they was, offering if you wanted to see a little something, to do something strange for a piece of change on there. So, I find them very hypocritical. That's why there's such a big, rift kind of in between black women and black men, because it's a lot of hypocrisy when things happen to black women. But it seems to me like black women are always, even if you don't like black men, even if you decided to divest or whatever, there's always this thing inside of us because we're nurturing by nature or whatever, but there's always this thing inside of us to feel sorry. You might drop a rest in peace or this is horrible, or whatever like that. You always feel that way about them, but we never get that same type of outcry. Shanquilla, I believe because the video was out and it was something that people could make money off of. I don't really think people really even cared. Maybe a few people really cared about the situation, but I don't think a lot of guys even cared about that. I think they really just saw the situation as an opportunity to make money off of it, because the way you hear a lot of people talk to black women and stuff like that, online, offline, is, I don't know. There's just a huge lack of respect for black women, and I don't know what that comes from, if their mothers didn't treat them right and they are now taking that out on women or whatever, because that's why I feel it is, because you don't know every black woman to just summarize every black woman as the same and to throw Meg in the bus, like under the bus, like her personally, and the way they do or whatever, like talk about this girl like she's not a human being. She's a fucking human being. She a person who suffered loss and suffered trauma from her loss, and she was doing things to numb her pain. I did a video about that. I think it was called "Crisis Not the Cops" is the name of the video, where I talked about how a lot of people in the quote unquote Negro or Black community will try to ease the pain with alcohol, drugs, food, sex, what I'm saying, violence, whatever it is. We tend to, go that way instead of seeking out therapy when we are in pain and traumatized. I've lost a lot of people in my lifetime. I lost my father. it's been 2 years since he's been gone. My husband died. I lost my best friend at 29. We were making plans and everything, and she had a heart attack at 29 years old. That was very traumatizing to me because we were young. I don't know, but I understand what it's like to lose a parent, to lose a grandparent, to lose a bestie, to lose other friends. You know what I'm saying? Family members, husband. Like I understand the loss, but I'm older than Meg, and I've had therapy. I don't know if she's had therapy or not, but I've had therapy, and I guess I can deal with it a little bit better. I can recognize, oh, I feel this type of pain, and I just have to take it easy today, or like I know what to tell myself to do mentally to get through that day if I'm reminiscing or the pain resurfaces again. I know how to tell myself, okay, girl, maybe you need to work out, maybe you need to clean something, maybe you need to go for a brisk walk, crack open a book, whatever it is I need to do to try to bring myself down and find my inner peace. I know how to do that, but that took time. It took a lot of time, and I still struggle with it to this day. You're gonna go through that because when you lose people you love, you hurt. So, rest in peace to Meg's mom. And fuck social media. Meg, the Stallion, Cardi B. Um, Now they done drunk. I think it's Young Miami. Or is it Young Miami or Carisha? Whoever Diddy was dealing with, they got her in here banging and stuff like that. And I think we all just kind of gotta let people do what they do. I have to put it in practice too. Like kind of let people do what they do when it comes to their mouth. Let them do what they do and just like fuck them. At the end because they're really not important. None of these people making comments, none of us making commentary is important to your life. And you shouldn't take anything in, especially negative shit that people are saying about you. You should never like take that in on yourself and make yourself feel bad because you don't know what these people are going through. Some people just got a fucked up life and they love getting online, just saying fucked up shit about people. You know, they just love bashing people and whatever, like that. It may look like I'm that type of person. I'm not. I just decided to deal with certain things online because some people don't give you the opportunity to have a fair fight. So sometimes you fight how you fight. But I'm not that type of person. I'd rather go to the person. If I got a problem with you, I much rather come to you and get the problem worked out right there face to face versus doing social medias and making posts about you and stuff like that. People do that. On Facebook you have people doing that, and these are not celebrities or whatever. These are regular working people, every average Joe people who get on Facebook and they be saying shit about each other and post and stuff like that. That's why I got off of Facebook. I don't really rock with it. I'm more or less fuck with Messenger, talk with people on there or whatever, because you just get tired of negativity. Online, it's a host of negativity. It's hard to shake negativity. And I wish Meg the best. And that's why I'm telling you, girl, if you were able to hear this video, just, fuck social media, get your personal assistant or whatever to kind of post your lovely photos that you be taking and whatever. And maybe you could tell her what to say and just like fuck it for a little while. Give yourself a little time, especially after this case. You are a fortunate one where you can, after this is over, you could kind of go and get some R&R or whatever, wherever you want. A lot of us, we got to save up. And it's now, me and my kids saving up for a little trip ourselves or whatever, but we got to save up and we just stuck in the mud. We stuck with the bullshit surrounding us or whatever like that. We have to deal with these bastards when you live in these buildings and different things like that. You might live, even if you live in a home, you might not live in the best neighborhood, and and you got the nosy people, gossiping people, people that never mind they goddamn business, people that's always worrying about your business instead of their own motherfucking business. And then they will have some business if they stop fucking worrying about your motherfucking business. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta just learn how to tune these people out. Fuck what they're talking about. Meg the Stallion was the victim here. She was shot. She was wounded. The woman went to Instagram. That's how I know she'd be listening to what these people said. She went to Instagram, took off her dress, and she could have gotten an infection in her foot, but she took it off just to show people, like, look, I did get shot. And people still were saying that she didn't get shot. So what was the purpose of even showing them? That's why I say you gotta say fuck people, because a lot of them are ignorant and they do things on here for money. They look in the chat box, they see which way the chat box is going. They see, look at the comments, whatever way that's going, they feel like that's going to be a coin for them. They're going to say the worst, most terrible, horrible shit about you they can to get those views, clicks, and likes. And people forget that, other people are human beings. But as soon as somebody attacks, any type of blogger, YouTuber, whatever, people are doing like gossip and stuff like that. Anytime one of them are attacked, it's time to cry. Oh my God, mercy me, and all of that shit. Is very hypocritical. Very hypocritical. If you're gonna get on here and you're gonna dish and call people kids, all type of shit. And I mean, some of these vloggers, I'd be like, whoo. I'm not gonna say I don't watch. I'm guilty of, watching or whatever, but I'd be like, whoa. I hope you don't never run into that person, with that shit you just said out your mouth. Because, you said some shit like that about me. I'd be like, hey, I'm not gonna be smiling at you and oh yeah, key and all that when I see you. We moving furniture or whatever we need to move, bricks, whatever we need to move around, we're gonna move them around until we get this situated here. And I'm not encouraging violence, but sometimes it is necessary. Sometimes you do gotta kick some ass, especially when people take it too far. Sometimes you gotta put hands and feet on people because they just take it too far. They just go too far. And it's like some people cruising for a bruising, like my grandmother would say, you're cruising for a bruising, girl, you know? But best wishes to Meg Thee Stallion. I hope she wins her case. I hope Kelsey is held accountable and Tory Lanez is deported for his you know, hand in this crime here. Because even if he didn't pull the trigger, it's still his gun. And if this young woman here shot her supposed to be friend, I don't know what kind of friend, but if she shot her and he's standing there next to her, whatever, regardless, like she needs to be in jail. They both need to be held accountable for what they did to this young woman. I don't give a fuck. I think Kylie Jenner is supposed to be testifying. They're like, ooh, Kylie Jenner and Corey is gonna testify on Tory Lanez behalf. So fucking what? The only thing she can attest to is that some type of disagreement happened at the pool, which we all kind of figured that out, right? Based on an article, based on what different people were saying. We already know that they had to get kicked out of there because things got out of control. Or they were arguing and Kylie didn't want that going on her property. So she's like, all right, y'all gotta leave because y'all just, doing a bit much. Y'all can go ahead on, take that someplace else or whatever. And that's all she could attest to. She wasn't there when Meg got shot. She was nowhere near in the vicinity when Meg Thee Stallion got shot in her foot. So what could she testify on behalf of Tory Lanez? Oh yeah, Meg was mad. Oh yeah, well the girls, they were the ones arguing. Tory was just trying to calm it down. None of that fucking matters because at the end of all of that, even fighting, even if they have fist fights, that fighting is not illegal. It's not illegal to have a fist fight. I don't know if people know that or not, but it's not illegal to get into a fist fight. If the police come and two people having a fight, they break it up, and unless somebody say, oh, he did this, unless you really trying to make a real claim, they'll let you walk away from a fight. It's a fist fight. That happens. Sometimes the cops fight each other. Do you know that? Police officers get into stuff with each other. They have fist fight. It's not illegal to have a fight. So still, even up until that point, nobody really did nothing wrong. The wrongdoing is when this woman is shot in her foot. And that's the only facts that really matter is who shot Meg. And I hope nobody gets away with that because I could see that being even more traumatizing because if she's not held accountable and Tory isn't held accountable, then he's free and loose. And you don't know oh my God, you don't know what's going to happen, in regards to that. She's going to need more protection. If this dude and the baby were trying to jump on the stage to get at her, like if this case goes away, is he going to stop? Because he seems like he has some type of, defect. Like the elevator is not going all the way up because he was still getting into shit after that. So he's proven to be a violent person. definitely a volatile person, you know. She's sitting here in her little puffy blouse and her little tight hairdo, but you know, she ain't all that she's not all no victim. And I've seen pictures of her and Meg side by side, and everybody wants to act like Meg is so big, like Meg is a damn Nephilim or something. You would think she a Nephilim, like, oh, look at Meg all the way. You know, the girl is tall, but this chick is thick. She's like not a bony girl, and she may not be as tall as Meg, but she's not a midget. And she doesn't even look like a pushover. She looked like she could hold her own if she got into something. And I want to go ahead on, and I'm gonna say this before I get off of here. I want to knock this myth down that because you're big and tall, you can't get your ass whooped. Because that is not true. And I don't want anybody to go out here thinking that because you're big and because you're tall, that somebody can't kick your ass, because you can most definitely get your ass kicked. You understand? So stop comparing her size and acting like, oh yeah, she's just some big giant that nobody ever seen her size before, something like that. Like Meg, we don't know if Meg know how to fight. I don't know if anybody's seen her fight or not, but you don't know if she know how to fight. Just because the woman is aggressive about her career and aggressive over her rap lyrics doesn't mean that she's going around whooping people's asses. Like we don't know that. You know, I just wish the world would stop making assumptions. I just wish everybody in the world would just stop making assumptions about shit and really get to the facts and just stop making assumptions and putting, I said assumptions, assumptions, and stop just putting shit out and just making shit up and writing shit all over the place and making videos all over the place. Get some facts. And if you don't have no facts, shut the fuck up. I'm Ray Ray. I like to bring awareness to conversation in hopes that it sparks change, and I'm out.